Dr. Nia Bennett spent 12 years working harder than anyone else to become the woman her husband's family pretended she wasn't. At 35, she was an attending emergency physician at Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta. She dealt with gunshot wounds, mass casualty chaos, and split-second calls that decided whether someone lived or died. In the hospital, nurses trusted her, residents listened, families remembered her name long after the worst moments passed. But in her in-laws' home, she was just the girl who played nurse. That jab started when she was still a resident. Patricia Coleman, her mother-in-law, once introduced Nia at church as someone who helped doctors around the hospital. Nia corrected her, gently. Patricia just laughed. "You know what I mean, sweetheart. All those uniforms look alike to me." Her father-in-law, Leonard, didn't joke. He was blunt. He owned 3 busy auto repair shops and respected jobs he understood. Mechanics fixed things. Contractors built. Lawyers won. But emergency medicine? Leonard couldn't see it, so it didn't matter to him. Marcus, Nia's husband, knew, though. He saw all of it: her graduation from med school, the sleepless studying, the first time she lost a patient. But when his parents insulted her, he said nothing. "They're old-fashioned," he told her, again and again. Eventually, Nia realized the truth. Marcus didn't keep the peace. He kept his comfort. The final insult hit during Leonard's 60th birthday. The Colemans rented a fancy room and filled it with relatives, church friends, business partners, and neighbors, the works. Nia dragged herself there after an overnight shift. Dressed in black, exhaustion settled under her eyes. Patricia met her at the door. "You look tired," she said, voice cool. "You should find a less demanding little job." "My job isn't little." Patricia smiled, tight as ever. "Of course not." Over dinner, Leonard raised his glass and toasted Marcus for his big job at a logistics company. "My son has a real career, something respected. Something stable." The room cheered. Then someone asked about Nia. Patricia waved it off. "Nia works at the hospital. Always playing nurse, running around like the place would fall apart without her." People laughed. Nia looked at Marcus. He avoided her eyes. Waited. Nothing. A woman across the table leaned in. "So, are you a nurse?" Nia set her glass down. "I'm an emergency physician." Patricia just laughed. She gets so serious about titles. Humiliation cut through Nia, cold and sharp. She didn't argue. She just watched. Watched Patricia smug, Leonard pleased, Marcus quiet. Something inside her settled. It wasn't anger, it was stillness. Later, Marcus found her in the parking lot. "You embarrassed my mother." Nia turned. "Your mother lied about my career." She was joking. No. She was testing how much I'd allow. Marcus sighed. "Why's everything got to be a confrontation with you?" She looked at him, the man she'd loved for 8 years. "You only call it confrontation when I defend myself." Nia drove home alone. Marcus stayed behind with his family. When she got home, Nia took off her wedding ring and placed it next to an old graduation photo one Marcus attended. His parents skipped. Leonard was opening shop number 2 that day. She didn't cry. She opened her laptop and checked the financial records she'd quietly kept for years. The house, both their names. The accounts separate. Marcus had borrowed heavily against future bonuses and put it into Leonard's newest repair shop. Nia, wisely, had refused to sign as a guarantor. For the first time, that decision felt like a gift. She closed the laptop. Revenge wouldn't start with shouting. It would begin with silence. For 3 weeks, Nia played it cool. She worked. She slept in the guest room. She only spoke to Marcus when she had to. The calm fooled him. He thought the storm had passed. It hadn't. Nia met with a divorce lawyer, Danielle Price. She took bank statements, deeds, and proof Marcus had moved marriage money into Leonard's failing business without her knowledge. Danielle flipped through the files. He invested almost $90,000. He called it temporary. "Your name isn't on the business." "No." Danielle snapped the folder shut. "His family wanted your money, not your importance." That sentence clung to Nia. She waited. Timing was everything. Meanwhile, the Colemans prepared for Leonard's grand opening shop number 4. Marcus convinced colleagues to invest, promising profits based on Leonard's inflated numbers. Nia discovered the truth because Marcus left his email open. The shop bled money, loans unpaid, investors angry. Leonard used Marcus's name to lure funds, and Marcus used marital savings to save the business. Nia didn't hack files or play dirty. She simply photographed what was left out in the open and brought it to her attorney. Then, Patricia called. Family dinner Sunday. Leonard wants everyone there. I'm working, Nia replied. Patricia's tone turned sharp. You always use that hospital as an excuse. Nia glanced through the ER glass wall. The trauma team was working a messy accident. It isn't an excuse. Patricia huffed. Marcus needs a wife who values family. Nia wanted to laugh. Instead, she said, Marcus needs to value his wife. She hung up. A couple days later, Marcus noticed the wedding ring was gone. Are you trying to scare me? No. Then what are you doing? Paying attention. Marcus blinked. Nia went on. You used our money for your father's business without a word. It was going to pay off. And you pitched fake numbers to investors. My father wrote those projections. But you signed your name. Marcus tried to explain. You wouldn't get it. Business always involves risk. Nia's face stayed steady. So does emergency medicine. The difference? I tell people the truth before they trust me with their lives. He had nothing to say. Despite the business troubles, Leonard threw a big grand opening. Patricia called everyone. Marcus practically begged Nia to come, just so the family wouldn't look embarrassed. Her presence mattered now, when her absence would reflect badly. She went. During the event, Patricia introduced Marcus as the brains of the family operation. And that's his wife. She works long shifts at the hospital. Someone asked, what does she do there? Patricia grinned. Nurse things. Nia caught Patricia's eyes. This time, she just stayed silent. Patricia saw surrender and smiled. Minutes later, Leonard clutched his chest. At first, people laughed. Then his knees buckled, and he collapsed. Panic. Shouting. Patricia screamed for help. Marcus knelt, but he was lost. Patricia clawed at Nia's arm. Do something. You work in a hospital. Nia looked at her hand, so quick to dismiss, now desperate. Move, she said, calm, clear. The room obeyed. Nia knelt, checked Leonard's pulse, opened his airway, called for a defibrillator. This is probably a major cardiac event. When you call 911, tell them he's got chest pain, sweating, and an irregular pulse. Marcus stared at her. Is he going to die? I'm doing my best to keep him alive. The paramedics arrived, and one recognized her instantly. Dr. Bennett. Patricia froze. We've got it from here, doctor, the paramedic said. Nia gave her report, then rode with Leonard to the hospital. Behind her, Marcus and Patricia watched, shaken. They always called her a pretend nurse. Now Leonard's life depended on her. But there was more truth waiting at the hospital.
Leonard was rushed to Grady's cardiac unit. Patricia, Marcus, and their relatives huddled in the waiting room. Whatever confidence they had was gone. Nia stood by the nurse's station, already reviewing what had happened with the team. Then Dr. Evelyn Brooks, head of emergency medicine, walked in. Dr. Brooks was respected all over Georgia, steadfast, sharp. She spotted Nia, relief flickering across her face. Dr. Bennett, thank God you're here. Her voice carried across the waiting room. Every Coleman looked up. Brooks, completely unaware of the family mess, continued. We just got several critical patients from a bus crash. I need you in trauma now. Can you lead? Nia glanced at Leonard's room. My father-in-law is the crash code who just came in. Dr. Brooks checked the chart. Your assessment may have saved him. Cardiology has him stabilized. Dr. Harris is upstairs. Then she spoke quietly. But I need my best doctor in trauma. The room was silent. Patricia's jaw trembled. Marcus watched Nia like he'd never really seen her. Dr. Brooks spoke to them, kindly but firmly. Dr. Bennett is one of our finest. Your husband was lucky she was there. Patricia tried to clarify, her father-in-law. Dr. Brooks nodded. Then he was lucky his daughter-in-law knew exactly what to do. A nurse rushed over. Dr. Bennett. Trauma 2 is ready. Nia turned to Marcus. Your father's stable. Someone will update you. She slipped through the doors, Dr. Brooks briefing her as they hurried down the hall. For 6 hours Nia led the trauma team, crushing injuries, internal bleeding, the full storm. She was steady, focused. Everyone around her trusted her completely. Back in the waiting room, Patricia sat with relatives who just mocked Nia days ago. No one laughed this time. Leonard survived. The doctors placed a stent in time. Near midnight, Nia returned. Marcus shot up. You saved him. I helped get him where he needed to be. Patricia's eyes were red. We didn't know. Nia's voice didn't waver. You knew I was a doctor. We didn't understand what kind. You never wanted to. Leonard's business partner, Mr. Washington, was there. He'd been at the parties, the dinners. Now, he looked at the Colemans differently. Patricia tried again. We were proud of you. We just didn't show it. Nia shook her head. No. You're proud when I'm useful. She didn't raise her voice, but the words hung heavy. Marcus reached for her hand. Nia didn't let him take it. I should have defended you, he admitted. Yes, she said. I was afraid of upsetting them. So you let them humiliate me. I can make it right. Nia opened her bag, took out a sealed envelope. Marcus stared. What's this? Divorce papers. Patricia gasped. Nia finished before they could interrupt. Your father's investor records are under review. My attorney has proof you used our funds without consent. I'm requesting payback before any assets get split. Marcus turned pale. You're destroying my family, he said. No. Now your choices have consequences. Leonard recovered. The business didn't. Investors bailed after seeing the mess. One sued. The shop closed before opening for customers. Marcus lost his job when his boss found out about the shady schemes. Nia never called the company. The truth did the work for her. 3 months later, the divorce went through. Nia kept her savings, and Marcus paid her back. She also became Deputy Chief of Emergency Medicine. During the hospital ceremony, Dr. Brooks introduced her to a crowd of staff and community leaders. Patricia and Leonard didn't get invites. Marcus watched a recording online, realizing all at once that he'd let his parents shrink Nia just for his own peace. Now, without her, he had nothing: no marriage, no job, no credibility. Nia lost nothing that mattered. She moved into her new office, hung her diploma on the wall, not for anyone else, but to remind herself. The Colemans mocked her for pretending to matter. In the end, she was the doctor they begged for and the woman strong enough to leave them to their consequences. They only valued her when they needed something. But dignity shouldn't depend on performing miracles for people to see it. What did this story teach you? Let me know in the comments, subscribe to Revenge and Redemption Tales, and stay tuned for more stories of quiet strength and choices that echo on. Thank you for watching. See you soon.